Hello guys. So this video is going to be the postnatal video um, for this week. I am going to talk about positions, ways to hold your baby, and also kind of like what to look for when your baby's hungry. And I have done a feeding feeding cues video, but I'm just going to show you like just some different positions. I want to show you pictures, like to kind of give you an idea. So, a lot of people have heard like the different positions. Maybe you've been around somebody who's breastfed, or I don't know. Just I remember some of them just because of like the football hold, just because of the name of it. So I kind of want to go over those holds. Now, you have to find which hold is most comfortable for you and for your baby. Some babies prefer certain breasts, and so it can be normal. Like I know I've heard this over and over. Baby only wants to take, my right breast, and it's bigger than my left because the baby's always wants that breast, and that is very, very normal. So there are certain holds that are the same way. Baby's more comfortable. So what I kind of wanted to talk about are the holds or the positions that make breastfeeding easier in the beginning, like when the baby's first born. And then also if your baby has reflux, or if the baby's getting too much milk, like they're gulping, and you think that the baby's taking too much milk, or that you have an oversupply, there's a better position as well. So I am going to see if I can, I'm using my iPad. And if I can, I want to try to take these pictures and add them to the video. And I'm really, really going to try to do that. I'm not sure exactly how, but I'm going to figure that out. So here are some positions. So I'm going to start with this one here. This one here is just it looks like she started off as a cross cradle. Yeah, and a cross cradle, it's kind of like actually quite different the way she's hold. This is not a typical cross cradle. In fact, this is more like a cradle position, just like the one extremely on the left there is as well. This one here. This one in the middle is the football hold. And babies with reflux, sometimes the football hold is easier for them. That the way the milk goes in, and also this laying down position, or this laying back position right here, that is also a good position for a baby with reflux, because they don't get too much milk. And like I said, if you notice your baby's gulping a lot, that's a good position to use. As well as if a baby struggles with latching, this is a good position as well. And just as you see in the picture, it looks like dad, but mom as well. You lay the baby skin to skin. So the baby's in a diaper, your top half shirtless, your breast would be out. The baby does a crawl, and it's like a natural crawl that they will go and find the breast and latch usually perfectly when they do so. Now, I really do not like this cross cradle hold, so I'm going to see if I can find another one to show you. But this one down here is, this one is a laying down position. It's hard to see in these. These are kind of bad. This is a laying down position. I want to say that this laying down position and the cradle hold, which I believe that's what they're trying to show here, is the cradle hold. Those are good for a baby who's a little bit better at breastfeeding. If the baby is like a natural and does great, then you can go ahead and do that. But usually I would wait to do the cradle or the laying down position at least a few weeks until you and the baby get better at breastfeeding. I am going to do a really quick search. Let me just say the cross cradle. because they kind of did it in that picture. The cross cradle is where you're going to use your left breast. So you're going to hold the baby with your right hand, your right arm. So the baby's neck, the back of their neck and their head will be in your hand. Now you don't want your fingers on their soft spot. You want your hand at the back of their head. You're just kind of holding their head at the breast. And you're able to use your other hand to hold the breast. And when you're holding the breast, you want to do a C hold, not a U hold. So be sure to, or do I have that wrong? I think it's the C hold. No, wait a minute. You want to do a U hold and not a C hold, because when the baby's down, think of it like this. When you have the baby at the breast, the baby has to be able to hold it like this and take a bite. It's like a hamburger. You couldn't, do it the opposite way, like turn the hamburger up. You have to have it so that you can push it down and bite on it. So when the reason I get it mixed up, the reason why I'm saying that is because if I'm going to help you, I will use a C hold, because as I'm facing you and the baby, it's going to be a C hold that I would do. But you looking down and look at the baby, it will be a U hold. So anyway, you've got the baby in your hand, and the butt is in the crook of your arm, and you cross the baby over. And the reason this is really good for their for an early baby is because you control their head with this hand and you control your breast with your other hand. So you're able to just kind of basically, control the baby. So that cross cradle and the football hold are really good for newborns, like right away. The others, laying down, cradle, I would recommend those once you get good at breastfeeding. So give yourself a couple weeks maybe, and then you'll be able to do that. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about is how to know if baby is hungry by their body signals. So get this, it's really hard to, my printer stopped working, so I can't print it for you. Okay, so you can actually type in Google feeding cues, and this will pop up. But it also, it's just a good picture, and like I said, I'm going to try to put these at the bottom. So at the top, it says, let's see, they're moving their head from side to side. Their mouth is open. Their hands get in their mouth. That is called the early cues, the top one. Those feeding cues are the early. And as you can see in this one here, the baby's turning their head. This one over here, it turns it according to touch. So you touch the baby and the baby turns towards the touch. This is the mid cues. So the baby starts yawning, and they start sucking their fingers there. And, this is very blurry as far as like words wise. So I can't give you what that middle one is. I can't see what that one is showing. So the mid cues basically are, I'm really hungry, it's time to eat. And this is the late cues, which means I'm mad now, and now you're going to have to calm me down before I'll eat. So the baby's crying, they're frantic, so they're sucking at their hands, and they're sucking at anything that touches, and they're moving, and their arms are all over the place. That is like, okay, I'm starving now, and I need to eat now. So you really want to get them on the early cues. So when you see them turning their head, their mouth opening, their lip coming out, their tongue coming out and licking their lips, that's the sign to start breastfeeding. And if you're having trouble with breastfeeding, that's really like the best thing to do is get the baby when it's the early cues, because then you have time before they get really hungry to kind of practice and get them on the breast. Because if you wait till here and they're not that good at breastfeeding, it's going to take you and the baby a long time, and you're going to be crying, the baby's going to be crying. So try to start early when the baby's still pretty sleepy. So those are the body signals. And again, like I said, I'll print that. I'll make sure that there's a photo with better words so that you can see underneath what it says the baby is doing. And then it talks about how to calm the baby. So you want to take the time to calm your baby before you try to feed when they get to that point. And every baby, we all have, our baby gets to that point. There are times when we're in the grocery store and we're, we know they're hungry. We have to get home and we can't really feed them there, and it can struggle. That's when you might want to use a pacifier, but pacifier use is the best to wait at least 2 weeks to 4 weeks. The longer you can go without using it, the better. And I always say, when you're going to use a pacifier, just make sure that you don't leave it in their mouth the whole time they're sleeping. Like, you help to calm them down with it, but then you take it out of their mouth. You don't want them to get used to sucking on that, and then you take that out of their mouth and put them to the breast, and they try to suck the breast the same way as the pacifier, and that's not going to work. So you don't want that, you don't want that happening. Then that's, again, where the baby's going to get very angry, and you're going to have to calm the baby down before you can breastfeed. And you're probably going to need to calm down too. And that's what you should do. If dad's there or someone else is there, have them help you, calm the baby, especially if you're very upset. Let someone else calm the baby. If there is no one there, you have to calm yourself and the baby. So just talking to the baby soothingly, moving, rocking, but no jerky motions. You crying and upset is going to only make them cry more. So try to calm yourself. If you have to calm yourself down first, do whatever you need to do to calm yourself down. Put you and the baby in a calming environment that's both calming for you and the baby. Then the next picture that I really want to share is the baby's stomach sizes and how much they actually really need in the beginning. So as you see, the baby on day 1 is here, shows you like the size of a cherry. And they only need, let me see what it says on here. Again, it's blurry, but it's, I believe, 1/4 or 1/2 of a teaspoon. So it is very, very small. Then you're going to get to day 3, and it's still pretty much the same. You're not even going to get to 1 ounce until until about 1 week, and then you hit about 1 ounce, and then by 2 weeks they're taking in 2 ounces. And honestly, 2 ounces is pretty much what they're going to stay at for quite a while. Yeah, they could get away with more because their stomach will stretch, but you basically want to keep in mind their stomach sizes, because if we teach them how to overeat when they're young, they're going to continue to want that feeling of fullness and are going to cry until they get it. Any baby will take a bottle after eating. It isn't just babies who are hungry. And when you put a bottle to baby's mouth, they don't really have a choice. It's the milk comes out whether they suck or not. So I think those are good visual aids for you in your mind. Okay, do I have enough milk? And then you're thinking of, okay, my baby's, stomach is like this little. So yeah, I think I can at least fill up, the baby's stomach on that. So kind of having that visual in your mind will help you a lot when you're second guessing yourself and so forth. So that's it that I wanted to talk about today. I hope that answers some of your questions and makes it easy for you guys, makes it more simpler or a little less, if it takes some worry away, helps you relax a little bit more and feel a little more confident. That's what I want, is to give you confidence. So I hope that does that. I hope that you guys continue watching. Share it with others. Even if you're not breastfeeding, you can share it with other people that are. Or if you're considering it, those are some information. So please comment below. Please, email me if you have any questions or concerns. I am not here to judge anybody, so I just want to help you whatever way that I can. So you can email me, you can comment, and subscribe so you can keep up with any videos that I show. So I hope you guys all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.